So, welcome everyone. This is Generation Dan, and we are looking at subreddit today for relationship advice. And you're going to get a perspective on a situation from different age categories. Once again, Caleb is not here for this, so you're going to get some perspective, and we'll see what happens. Okay.
Yep.
So, this is. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys could read along with me. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm a 32 female and have been dating my 32 male partner for almost 7 months. He told me recently that he wants to sleep with other people. He has only ever slept with me, not for lack of trying. He had an erectile dysfunction issue for years. Hopefully not TMI for the subreddit.
Hey, you know what? Somebody literally shat the bed. Erectile dysfunction is nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
So, but he said that recently he has had 2 encounters with other women in which he was tempted to pursue them. He said that he is pretty sure he wants to sleep with other people, but that he doesn't want to date anyone else on a personal, emotional, mental level. Our relationship is incredible. This goes both ways. He has suggested a threesome so he wouldn't lose me or hurt me so badly. And as much as I wanted to agree, I am an extremely monogamous-minded person, and I'm not sure how I'd handle it. I also feel that he would prefer to just be alone when he is with other people. He is clear that he wouldn't be okay with an open relationship or if the roles were reversed. He has been saying for about a week that he wants to stay with me and isn't leaving, but I really don't know what to think or do. I don't want him to stay with me because he's scared of hurting me, or for him to stay and be miserable or eventually possibly cheat. Any and all advice and how to handle this would be great. Thank you. So,
Okay.
thoughts?
Who wants to go first?
Well, okay. Let me say this is number one. Okay. I'm having a hard time getting a point of reference where men are like, I have the mentality that they can stand there and go, listen, I want to be in a relationship with you, but I want to go out and bang chicks. And I'm like, I don't feel like you have an idea of how relationships actually are supposed to work. Like, that is a weird.
Yeah. Kind of a weird thing to say to your wife, Napoleon. Like,
It's like you're just like that doesn't make any sense. Like, and I'm old and married, right? Like, it's not.
The guy makes it sound like it's some kind of beast within him, where he comes to, like, he sits her down and goes like, "I love you, but I'm a werewolf, and that's just something we're gonna have." Like, I think everybody has that thought from time to time, but you don't need to tell anyone. You just try and do the relationship as best you can.
I believe the quote we were looking for was "Players gonna play, honey."
Oh my fucking god! Oh, okay.
Sorry, Josh, you were about to say something, sir.
I think so. What's interesting to me is, and she just kind of drops it in there, is that he says he would not be okay if things were reversed.
Right.
So in his mind, like, he already knows there's something not okay with what he's suggesting, right? And I mean, I think if people want to enter into a non-monogamous relationship and they agree on that, that's fine. But like, one person can't be like, well, this is what I want, and you can't have it the other way. Like, I don't, I don't know. I think that she's asking the right questions to herself, but I think the other one to ask is like, is he just saying, I want to fuck other people but still date you because I'm worried that I won't be able to find anybody else to date me?
So that's what I'm thinking, is that he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. Literally, right? So he's like, hey, I'm going to keep you for a relationship and long term, but whores all the time. Well, there you go.
Sorry.
Maybe a taco, but yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
No, but that's like, realistically, is he's going around thinking that, he should, especially if he, realistically, I always go back to that Friends episode where it was like, guys like, oh, I've had issues with, erectile dysfunction, but not with you. And chicks apparently took it as a challenge when he's like, yeah, I never had an issue. Right. So it's kind of weird in that fashion. And then at the same time, you're like, so hold on. So he couldn't get it up. You helped him. So now he can get it up. So he's like, well, now that the pumps are fixed, let's get all the donuts on this wiener. Like, it's a weird. Like it's a weird perspective, right?
Maybe it's like he's afraid that because he lost his ability to do it, that he's afraid he might lose it again, and he wants to take advantage while he still can. But also the other thing was about the concept of an emotional affair, which I didn't really know what that was until I messed up my college relationship and found out the hard way and realized that it is very much a thing.
Yeah.
And the point is, if you are tempted to unload your emotional baggage with someone else besides your significant other, just leave. Instead of dragging it out, it shouldn't be this thing where you're like, all right, I'm gonna have the sexy times with that one and the talky times with that one, and it'll be fine.
And at some point, though, I really feel like this guy who's like, "Oh, I was talking to girls and they were into me." It was like, yeah, they were waitresses at a strip joint or Hooters, and you're like, guys, it was just a tip, man. That's all they wanted. They don't give a shit about it's weird. This is the problem. Is men don't realize how gross they are sometimes, and you're like, yeah, man, she's a waitress. It's her job to be nice to you. That's it. That's trust me. When I was young and thin and gorgeous, I was a waiter, and I'm like, if it was 4 women that were between the ages of 25 and not dead, okay, I got that table. Why? Because I would schmooze the hell out of it, okay? And I would be like, hey, ladies, okay, let's bachelorette party. What's going on? Because I was a whore, okay? They're like, oh, I'd introduce you to my daughter. I'm like, well, listen, if she's a quarter of what you are, I'm in. And old women love that kind of shit. Why? Because it was before the internet. That's why. So it's this whole thing is just it's perplexing for me. I don't understand. And now, realistically, people have become way more in tune with their sexual existence, right? Which, hey, good on you. That's all hunky dory, right? But at the same time, this guy's fucking weird, right? It's not just me.
I can appreciate the wanting to be open with his girlfriend, but it's I don't know. I don't know where I land on this one. I have 2 feet in 2 different camps.
Well, do people not realize that?
It's one of those things.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's hard. They enter into a monogamous relationship, and he decides maybe he doesn't want that. You have to bring it up, if you have a good communicative relationship, you have to bring it up, right? I think Atlas is right. You have to communicate those things to your significant other, be willing to, if that's what you're really wanting. But if it's a passing fancy, he may regret this in a big way. I feel like, but the fact that she's concerned enough to post about it on Reddit, that says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a bunch of internet nerds in their basement will help me.
Listen, I'm having a hard enough time with that whole perspective where it's like, you know what? I'm going to ask the internet because that's where I find my knowledge. And you're like, oh, that's dodgy in and of itself, right? There's this guy dodgy, and now asking the internet. I read some of the answers in the comments, and they were weird.
Unlike what my teachers told me growing up, the only sure source is Wikipedia. They keep an iron grip on that shit. That is always true.
Yeah, trust me, not always. There's been weird stuff on there, too. Okay, so consensus. Josh, what do you think? Should this lady just run away from this guy and counter stars that he didn't try to put a ring on it?
This is tough. I'm a person that I don't like to weigh on this kind of stuff. I'm a lawyer, right? I'm like, it depends. There's a lot I don't know.
That's true.
The thing is, there's some people, they should run away, and there's some people they should ride it out, and it'll be the best thing that they ever did. Like I said, at the very least, it seems like they have a relationship where they're very comfortable talking to one another. Which that's a strong foundation for a relationship.
So everyone, you heard it here from Josh, from our lawyer. He says that they should stop communicating. That's definitely number one thing. Stop communicating. Sorry. I couldn't resist, Josh.
No, yeah. But if you have to, if I have to weigh in, uh, she should say no, but that she's not necessarily out of a relationship if that's what she wants, and see where it goes from there. Because he may decide that's not what he wants. So.
Yeah,
Fair.
it's true.
Fair. Atlas, thoughts?
I think that he okay. I think that he made the right decision to be open about it, but I think maybe he worded it badly. Or if she's wording it differently than how he told him. Whoever, somebody worded it badly. And I think he, like Josh said, he should have wait a little bit. Because you can have you get like a little mini crush on like the person walking by or whatever, or because it didn't seem like it was anyone in particular. It just seemed like a general idea that he had. Somebody from work is cute.
Yeah, would that be worse if he was like, "Hey, hun, there's this one woman I really want to bang." Is that okay?
You just only imagine someone coming home and be like, "Honey, I got news for you. I met this girl. Really want to bang her." Yeah, that's just. And this is the thing is because so the quote is that he said that he recently has had 2 encounters, whatever that means, with other women in which he was tempted to pursue them. I'm thinking they were waitresses, and it was not what he thought. Especially at the age of 32, you're like, listen, he may have just gotten into shape or something. There may have been more to this story. And for that, I understand.
He didn't just get into his shape; his dick did.
Which may be what the whole thing was. You don't know, right? But the whole idea is that if that is the truth, I feel like he should just be happy that someone loved him in the first place with his limp wiener, that he found love, and he should hold on to that for dear life until his wiener goes limp again. That is my opinion. Yeah, well, listen. He probably looks like some sort of troll person, and fact is that they have a decent amount of communication for being together for 7 months. He's got a limp wiener and basic communication skills. I think he's right where he needs to be. Doesn't need to be anywhere else, right? Because, listen, it's something. She's willing to give him the chance. She could have stabbed him right as soon as he's like, hey, listen, I want to bang these other chicks, and she could have just went right to the neck, and everyone would have been like, obviously, that's when she snapped right there. He came home and said, hey, I want to bang other chicks, and she's like, yeah, that's when she killed him, obviously, right? So I feel like she's very reasonable, and he should just hope that she doesn't turn and try and murder him before, she makes an idea. That's my opinion.
That's a crazy opinion, but a good one.
It's pretty fair though. Yeah, we can all picture that. Some girl going, think about it. You and your spouse, you come home and go, hey, I met 2 chicks today that really wanted to bang. Are you okay with that? And you can all 3 of us can picture our significant other going, okay. That's gonna happen. No problem. It's fair.
It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but with stabbing.
Well,
I guess to you, the watcher of this video, what do you think about this whole situation? Yeah. Sound off in the comments, or if you have your own situation that you want us to weigh in on from Gen X, Gen Y, and sometimes Gen Z, apparently.
Yeah, we are happy to give you the truth that the only we can give from a multi-generational perspective versus just a generic internet troll. It's a lot better, and we all have significant others that haven't murdered us yet. I think that also is very key. This has been Generation 10 Gives Advice, everyone. Please like, share, subscribe, and check out some of our other episodes. See you later. Bye.